Hey Kara, it's me. It's like midnight here, but I figured I'd just respond to your video as soon as I watched it because, unlike you, I'm not very exciting, so I didn't take any side clips to add in this week. I'll have to do that next week, though. That's a good idea. Anyways, first off, I'm sorry to hear about your friend. That really sucks, because, nobody our age should be dying, and it's always really sad, I think, when anyone our age does, whether or not you knew them that well. And if they were in your class, that's really hard. Because I think there's this level of person that you wouldn't characterize as one of your good friends, but you spent a lot of years together and saw every day. And it would just be hard to lose someone like that. I fortunately have not had to go through anything like that. My interesting news for the week is much happier, which is that my cousin Liam and Ro, they finally had their baby. And Ro was due on the 31st, so everyone has been waiting, but they had a baby, and the baby is very cute, and we're all waiting to hear the baby's name, and that's just, nice family news, which I'm excited about. I'm not I haven't really done an excessive amount of stuff this week, I have to admit. The only thing I have done this entire week that hasn't been going to school is that I went to a cafe with my roommates to study. And then I did my weekly D&D, which that was really fun. Though I felt a little bit bad because Rebecca and Charlie have this really lovely friend named Regina, and Regina is so sweet. Like, she's also a really strong, independent woman who just is the type of person that doesn't take any shit, and I really admire her for that. But I asked her if she would come and play D&D with us because she had before. And she created this character who is a 9-year-old Goliath lawyer who's really excellent. But my character, who is a kind of crazy rogue, really did not like her character. And they got into a bit of a shouting match. And I think that Regina in real life was a little bit thrown off by how loud I can be in D&D because I have a loud voice and I'm good at role acting a angry person even when I'm not angry. So I felt a little bad about that. But yeah, and then the only other unschool related thing I did this week was that I watched a bunch of Twin Peaks with Ethan. Twin Peaks because he wanted to show me it. He likes things that are a little bit surreal like that. And we watched a bunch of that and that was really fun. I also um read a ton. Well, not a ton, but good amount. I finished the Merlin Conspiracy, which was interesting. Something weird is after I finished the book, I realized it was a sequel to something else. Never had any clue during the book of this. The thing about it that really got to me was at the end of the book, you find out that Roddy, one of the main characters I mentioned last week, her best friend is this kid named Grundo. They have been best friends for forever. And her main thing is always taking care of this kid who definitely has ADHD, and you think it's really sweet. And at the end of the book, you find out that the entire time he had a charm on her so she would be nice to him. And once he has to take it off, he never apologizes. He's just well, that was just useful for me. And then everyone just goes on. And that's just such a terrible thing to do to someone. And that just interesting part of the story, but made me sad. So, and then I read a book that Ethan lent me called What Is Not Yours Is Not Yours. And it was a group of short stories. And it was it was just wonderful. It was beautiful and strange and haunting, and I loved all of them. And they weren't like technologically based. I don't want to give you that idea, but they kind of had a little bit of a haunting Black Mirrors to them because they were also random and strange. And my favorite one, which was called "Is Your Blood as Red as This?" um, had two puppets who were alive, and it's never explained really. They just are, and they're just like side characters in this strange love story that's unfolding. Another thing that I really loved about it is that almost every story either had um a like homosexual couple or like someone who was trans, and they were like displayed as just like real people, and I thought that was lovely because there's so few books that just like display real characters living their lives who aren't like heterosexual like straight people, and just very cool. um you mentioned that I would know about the non-Thanksgiving thing. Not true, my friend. Here in Canada, we have Thanksgiving earlier. So we had Thanksgiving first weekend of November, maybe second weekend of November. I want to say like the 13th. All of like Ethan and Rebecca and Charlie and Sam and one of Sam's friends, Cindy, we all had Thanksgiving at my apartment and it was great. I made this really excellent like buttercup acorn um, squash soup. Ethan made really good lamb for just me and Ethan because Charlie and Rebecca are vegetarian, and it was just like a lovely friend gathering. We all got stuffed. Charlie makes really good cocktails, so we all had cocktails, and yeah, it was a good time. You said it's warm there. That's nice. It's snowing here. It's like already covered in snow, which isn't surprising for the time of the year. I was really excited when it snowed actually. And I'm preparing all of my Christmas stuff already, even though that's not really normal here. The thing that everyone is wearing right now is the poppy, like a red poppy, like Flanders Field for, you know, veterans, because it's that time of year again. But no, at home this year for the Christmas party with like me and all my Bangor friends, we're doing a Secret Santa. So I've been telling everyone their Secret Santa things, and they've all been planning their gifts, and it's super cute. And then we're also gonna do a dessert bake off. So I put everyone by how good they were at making desserts. And then I randomly drew, so we have three groups. And we're each gonna make a dessert, and then my brother Paul is going to, you know, judge them all. But I also wanted to say, in my defense of not doing anything interesting out of school this week, so that everyone doesn't think I'm boring, the semester at McGill is actually almost finished. We only have like 2 weeks left. So, Monday, I have a massive test. The Monday after that, I have a massive presentation. And then Tuesday of next week, I have two papers due. One which is 30% of one of my grades, and one which is 50% of one of my grades. So I have been doing lots and lots and lots of schoolwork. It's not just that I'm usually this boring. Next week, I'll do more interesting things and tell you about them. And before I leave, Sadie, one of my friends from home, and one of Kara's friends who went to band camp with us, wanted to say hi. And Rebecca was sad last week that I said that Charlie was better at giving advice than her. So I wanted to tell you that Rebecca is the best singer. She is the best at just making food on the spot with whatever we have in the kitchen. And she is really always just very relaxed, or very relaxing, always doing yoga. She's just great. Remember that Rebecca is as great as Charlie. Anyways, see you all next week.